Hello, welcome to this presentation on compound interest. We hope you enjoy it and you will be able to learn from it. As you can see, we are dealing with compound interest, and at the end of this DVD you will be able to explain the difference between simple interest and compound interest and state the formula for simple interest and compound interest. Number 2, you will be able to draw lines, timelines, to show how many times interest will be calculated or received. 3, you will be able to determine the interest rate and the number of periods for substitution in the compound interest formula. 4, you'll be able to calculate compound interest. 5, you'll be able to determine whether money moved backwards or forward. And 6, you will be able to do calculations where money has moved forward or backward. So let us do the first activity, which is explaining what is simple interest and what is compound interest. In simple interest, you get the same amount of interest every year. For example, if you invest 200 rands for 3 years at 10% per annum simple interest, then the simple interest for 1 year is 200 times 10% times 3, which you can do on the calculator, is equal to 60 rand, which is equal to 20 rand interest per year. So it's 20 rand, 20 rand, 20 rand. The interest is the same for each year. And the formula for simple interest is principal times rate times time, or in short, SI is equal to PRT. In compound interest, you get interest upon interest. I'll repeat that. In compound interest, you get interest upon interest. That means the amount of interest increases year by year. For example, if you invested 200 rands at 10% per annum or per year for 3 years, compounded annually, then you will get 66 rand 20. Let's see the working below. The principal for the first year is 200. Use your calculator and calculate 10% of 200, you get 20. So at the end of year 1, the amount in the bank is 220. That becomes the principal for year 2. So in year 2, you calculate 10% of 220, which is 22 rand. So at the end of year 2, you will have 242 rand, which becomes the principal for year 3. Now, the principal for year 3 was 242. You find again 10% of that. You get 24 rand 20. So the total interest over the 3 years is 66 rand 20. Now, there's a special formula to find simple interest. Here we calculated it year by year just to show you what happens each year. And the final interest year for 3 years is 66 rand 20. Whereas in simple interest you only got 60 rand. So in this example, or in compound interest, you can see that you're getting 6 rand 20 extra. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to give you the formula for compound interest. So here is the formula for compound interest. Now I have to make, alright, I have written the formula for interest. Interest is equal to P into 1 plus I to the n minus P, where P is the principal. You can write it like that, or you can simplify the formula like this and say P into 1 plus I to the n minus 1. So if you want to calculate interest, then you use this formula. If you like to calculate compound increase, then you use this formula. So there's a difference. This one will give you the exact amount of interest. This one will give you the increase, and from here you'll have to subtract the principal so that you can get the interest amount. All this will become clear when I do an example. Remember, we also have a formula for compound decrease. For example, depreciation by diminishing balance. So let me just show you that formula also. So you can see the formula for compound decrease is P into 1 minus I to the n. Compound decrease is equal to P. So today we're going to concentrate on compound increase or compound interest. This is the formula for increase, and the same formula, once you put minus P here, it becomes compound interest. So remember the difference between increase and interest, two different formulas. So that's the background for simple interest and compound interest.